we live in a two-tier society. Certain people, based on race, colour, gender, sexuality, heritage, whatever, there's a million things it's based on every incident's different. But if you fall on the wrong side of the tracks, you're punished more.
A guy called Patrick Ruane, who's just been in jail for 5 years, posting messages about vaccines when he was drunk and threatening Chris Whitty. But 5 years, he's ended up... So this is a guy, a drunk, who goes on the internet when he's drunk and says, I'm going to kill Chris Whitty and don't take the vaccine. 5 years in jail.
So never met Chris Whitty?
No.
Never approached him?
No.
This was all purely online?
Correct.
Never should be in jail?
Yeah.
Now, I'm not saying it's right.
Yeah.
And I actually think he probably needs punishing.
Yes.
Because it's not nice getting death threats online.
Yeah.
But let's be completely honest. A death threat online is nothing like being assaulted in the street.
Yeah.
You could assault Chris Whitty in the street, physically punch him in the face. I don't think you'd get 5 years.
Yeah.
You probably,
right.
You probably wouldn't even go to jail.
Yeah.
You'd get a suspended sentence. Where is the justice there?
Well, we're going to talk in a moment about a case that you actually brought to my attention, although my wife did mention it to me later in the week. But this is what you're describing now is what I want to talk about, because we have got this. We've talked about the two-tier thing, and this is what this guy's talking about. There's another guy. Have you heard of a chap called Wayne O'Rourke?
Wayne O'Rourke? I don't think so. I don't know.
So he's just been jailed for 3 years for 2 tweets. And these are tweets about the Southport killer. And the tweets are literally, I'm not joking. So this guy's got 3 years in jail. The tweets are something like, and maybe our listeners can tell us exactly what they are, but it's something like, this guy's a Muslim. I tell you, I stand by that, or something like that.
Yeah.
And then another one about this guy, is goes to the local mosque or something like that. Now, there's 2 things happening here. He was jailed for 3 years for those 2 tweets. Literally, that's all it was, those 2 tweets. But secondly, those 2 tweets appear now to be accurate.
Well, the Muslim one seems 100% accurate. Turns out he was a Muslim.
Yeah.
What was the second tweet?
I can't remember what it was now.
You say he goes to local mosque or something?
Yeah, it was something like that. It was basically a persistence of the theme. This is a Muslim. This is a Muslim. This is a terror attack, basically.
Well, let's say none of that's true. Let's say it turns out he's not a Muslim and he's never been to a mosque in his life. So?
Yeah.
Where's the criminality of those 2 tweets?
Yeah.
Why have they been investigated? Why has he been arrested? And God's sake, why is he in jail?
Yes.
Even if it turns out both those tweets are wrong.
Yes. Yeah.
He never ever should have been in a court of law and never ever should have been sentenced to jail.
Yeah.
Because, again, we haven't got free speech in this country.
Yeah.
Because other people decided that's a wrong type of speech.
Yeah.
You've not... I mean, the guy before incited violence.
Yes.
Threatened, I'm going to kill him, whatever he did.
Well, he wasn't inciting, he was threatening himself.
So he was threatening to do it himself. So there's an argument to be made there, because that is, even I don't condone that. What his punishment should be is debatable. But this guy now, who hasn't incited any violence, who hasn't threatened anybody, who stated facts that he thought were facts, because that's all our facts are, is what we think is true.
Yeah.
Most people throughout history have been proven wrong in what they believed.
Yes.
But at the moment they were saying it, they thought it was a fact. The sun goes round the earth. That's a fact.
Yes.
400 years ago. And they all believed it to be a fact. It turned out it wasn't a fact. So how he can go to jail for this? And when it all comes out in court, these political prisoners will have to be released. There'll then be campaigns for compensation, which they deserve, and people need to be held accountable for this. Yeah. I want heads rolling. I want heads of CPS rolling. I want ministers' heads rolling. How can you be locking up our fellow citizens just because you don't like what they say? We're either free people in a free country or we're not. And it seems to be we're not.
We're not. I think you're right. I think that's the point. There's 2 other guys, Jack Cregan and Colin Brown. Have you heard of these 2 characters?
Not the names.
So, 5 years these guys got. So this is for breaching, these are the actual things they were convicted of. Breaching metal barriers.
Yeah.
shouting at police and damaging a bus.
Mm.
So I'm not sure. I think this was in Southport. I think these are Southport locals. They've both been in prison for 5 years. This is just one that's just happened recently.
So this one's a bit more complicated because these people have actually committed crimes and need punishing. But the question is, compared to all the other crimes that'll go through that court and in front of that judge, is that sentence extreme? Because I tell you now, rapists don't get 5 years. Paedophiles don't get 5 years. Bank robbers don't get 5 years. People walking London streets mugging people don't even go to jail. And we've got these people who have committed crimes who need punishing, and I stand by that. We can't have people taking the law into their own hands and doing some of those things they've done. But 5 years.
Well, breaching a metal barrier is not a crime. That means just climbing over a metal barrier. That's not a crime in my book. That
won't be one of the crimes where they got 5 years. It'll be the burning the bus. It'll be arson, and it'll be endangering the public. That's what they got the 5 years for.
It was damaging the bus. They weren't setting fire to it.
Right.
And then the final case I want to mention, a girl called Cameron Bell. Now, as always, there's a mugshot of this.
I've heard this one.
But the mugshot is of a young girl.
Yeah.
With blonde hair, nice looking young.
But white.
Yes,
white.
Sorry, yes. I'm getting like the racist. I'm getting like the racist media myself. I'm not mentioning the colour. Yeah. A young white blonde, nice looking girl. Yeah. Even a mugshot doesn't make her look dreadful. 9 months.
My understanding was she was on her way home from work. She's a care worker or something. On her way home from work, it's all kicking off. So she gets off the bus and starts filming it live on TikTok. That seems to be it. Not sure there must be more to it than that. So there must be.
I'm not sure there is, Nick.
It must be what she was saying while she was filming. There'll be more to it than that. But that will not excuse the sentence she got. They already stated she wasn't involved in anything. So if she wasn't involved in any disturbances, the violence, she was filming it. It would be what she was saying while she was filming it. So if she's saying, they're throwing bricks at the police, good. Yeah, they do it. So it'll be what she said. But regardless of what she said, does not deserve the sentence she got compared to every other crime going through that court, sitting in front of that judge and magistrate. This is the two-tier thing we're talking about. We live in a two-tier society. Certain people, based on race, colour, gender, sexuality, heritage, whatever, there's a million things it's based on every incident's different. But if you fall on the wrong side of the tracks, you're punished more. We see this all the time, and this is for anything to do with the state. This is healthcare, policing, criminal justice, getting services, getting housing. There's a two-tier system, and it tends to be now that if you're born here, if you're white, if you're Christian, if you're any of the boring things, you get a worse service. If you're any of the exciting things, there's a good chance you'll get a better service.
Yeah.